everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog and welcome to another TV episode review series. So today's TV episode I'll be reviewing today is Star Trek Discovery, the pilot episode, the Vulcan Hello. And before I get into my thoughts about this episode, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It could be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see a video posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of movie or TV show news that was released during the week that I wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. But new videos will be posted up every Sunday. As you may have noticed, I don't have any videos for Sunday this week because I was taking a break, but I am still doing videos for TV episode reviews that are coming on during the week. So this episode review of the Star Trek Discovery episode was my way to make up for not posting up any videos for Sunday. So let's get into Star Trek Discovery. So, my history with Star Trek is that I'm a casual viewer of Star Trek, so I will admit I don't know too much about Star Trek except like maybe the basics like the Klingons and the Vulcans, and I know a bit about Star Trek The Next Generation since that was the show I grew up with when I was little. But yeah, I'm mostly a casual viewer of Star Trek, and my dad is a huge Star Trek fan, so he knows a lot about Star Trek that I do. But I wanted to check this episode out because it's been a long time since we really had Star Trek come back on TV. Like, I think the last time we had a Star Trek TV series was like Star Trek Enterprise, which was like over a decade ago. So it was great to see another Star Trek show finally pop up after all these years. And this is just the my review of the very first episode because the rest of the series will be available on CBS All Access, and I have decided to not review the rest of the series for the season because it's just difficult for me to get on CBS All Access and watch all these episodes online. So I have decided to just go ahead and wait till this show comes out and season 1 comes out on DVD, and maybe I'll do an overall season 1 review of Star Trek Discovery once it comes out on DVD. So that's my plans, and I haven't watched episode 2 yet because again it's you have to stream it, and even though it's for free at the moment, I just can't really it's just gonna be difficult for me to like review shows that are online unless I have Hulu or something like that. So unless CBS changed their minds and be like, okay, we could put the show back on air again if the audience really want it back. So here's what this episode's about. So the episode starts off with Captain Georgiou and her commander-in-chief Michael going off into the desert exploring this new world. And then you get to see the relationship shown between the two women. Like, you can see that the captain really respects Michael. And we also get to find out that Michael was raised on the planet Vulcan. So she tries to look at things from a logical point of view, like how most Vulcans tend to look at things. But because she's a human being, she's prone to emotional outbursts at times because of that. And during this episode, we see that the Klingons are back and they try to attack the captain's ship again. And Michael in this episode is trying to tell the captain, we gotta attack the Klingons, because if we don't attack the Klingons, they're never gonna respect us, and we're gonna be engaged in this war unless we strike the Klingons first. And the captain's like, no, we can't attack the Klingons because we're a peaceful fleet. We're not meant to engage in war unless we have to. And pretty much the episode stems on Michael trying to tell the captain, they gotta attack the Klingon ship, because if they don't, the Klingon's gonna destroy them, and she has to end up going up against the captain just to make sure she can save everyone on the ship from the Klingon attack. So, one of my thoughts about this episode, I found this episode to be really interesting. Now, and I admit this as a casual viewer of Star Trek, and I like how they brought back the Klingon from the previous Star Trek franchise, and I will admit they look very different from what we've seen the Klingon before. Like, if you remember Star Trek The Next Generation and that Worf is a Klingon, they look very different from the previous series, so that was pretty interesting, and it makes me wonder, is this Star Trek series going to be set in an alternate universe, because that's what it looks like based on how the Klingons look. Then I found the part about Michael being raised by the Vulcans to be really interesting, because I never seen a Star Trek character for what I remember anyway. It's been a while since I've seen the previous Star Trek shows, and it was interesting to see how Michael's personality differs from the people on Vulcan, because she's a human being and she's prone to emotions, and then She tries to look on to her Vulcan mentor to tell her what she needs to do when dealing with the Klingons. And I was interested to see how the Vulcans answer into dealing with the Klingons is that they got to attack the Klingons, so the Klingons would start to respect the Vulcans, and that's how the Vulcans were able to avoid the Klingons from attacking them in the past. When they attacked their ships. So I was interested in that fact. And I like the fact that this Star Trek series does have a strong female protagonist. Like there were previous Star Trek series that had strong female protagonists. Like I can't remember with Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine that had a female protagonist. But it was great seeing two strong female protagonists in the series. And whenever I get the series on season 1 on DVD, I hope to see more from these protagonists and see how they're able to save the Starfleet Enterprise from the Klingons and how much of a threat the Klingons will have to the crew in the near future episodes. Now, my only issue with this episode is that I felt like they didn't really develop the characters very well. Like, we didn't know much about each of these characters. Like, I felt like the only character we know a lot about is Michael herself, as she was raised Vulcan. And yeah, I like the fact that they explored that a bit, but I would like to know more about her character, about what happened in her backstory, how she got adopted by the Vulcans and stuff like that. And I know this is just a pilot episode, so we're probably not going to know all that till the later episodes. But yeah, I was interested in her backstory about her being raised as a Vulcan, and I would have liked to know more about the other crew members on the ship and their backstories, and I hope, and also about the captain herself. Like, I do like the relationship the captain has with Michael throughout this episode, but I would love to see more of her backstory too, and see what they could do with her character in the future episodes. But again, this is just a pilot episode, so they're probably not going to develop all that until later episodes. Once more. So overall, I give this episode 4.5 stars. Like the reason why I took off half some stars because the pacing was really slow, and I wish they developed the characters a little more in this episode. But overall, this pilot was really exciting. It really gets you into the Star Trek universe once again, and I can't wait to see more adventures from these characters once the episode starts progressing. And have you seen Star Trek Discovery? And if you have, what are your opinions about this series? Do you think it's as good as the other Star Trek series in the past, or do you think it's the worst Star Trek series we have seen so far? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated any new videos I post up. And also, like my Facebook page, Rabbitearsblog's Best Comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later.